Linux Mint 22.3 HWE ISOs with Linux Kernel 7.0 are now available. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you've been following Linux Mint, you know the team made a big decision earlier this year. They shifted to a longer development cycle, which means the next major version, Linux Mint 23, is planned for around Christmas 2026. That longer wait is great for stability and bug fixing, but it created a practical problem for people with brand new hardware. Today, that problem has a clear solution. Linux Mint has released a new set of hardware enablement, or HWE ISO images, for the current release, Linux Mint 22.3 Zena. These images come with Linux Kernel 7.0 instead of the older kernels that shipped with the original ISOs. Let's break down what this actually means. Linux Mint 22.3 was released in January 2026. It is based on Ubuntu 24.04 LTS and originally came with Linux kernel 6.14. Later, the team published the first HWE ISOs with kernel 6.17 to improve compatibility with newer machines. Now a further update is available, HWE ISOs powered by kernel 7.0. The same kernel series coming from the Ubuntu 24.04.5 HWE stack. These are not a new version of Linux Mint. The desktop environments stay the same: Cinnamon 6.6, XFCE 4.18, and Mate 1.26. The applications, the overall system, and the long-term support until 2029 remain unchanged. The only major difference is the newer kernel and the improved hardware support that comes with it. So now, who should download these new ISOs? They are mainly intended for new installations. If the regular Linux Mint 22.3 ISO fails to boot, freezes during setup, or does not properly detect your hardware, newer CPUs, graphics, Wi-Fi chips, and so on, the HWE version with kernel 7.0 is the one to try. If you already have Linux Mint 22.3 installed and running, you do not need to reinstall. You can simply install kernel 7.0 from the official software repositories through the Update Manager or the system administration tools. Existing users already have access to the same kernel updates. A quick but important note: newer kernels can sometimes cause temporary issues with certain proprietary drivers. Older NVIDIA cards, some Broadcom wireless adapters, or VirtualBox modules, for example. The Linux Mint team recommends using the regular ISO whenever it works fine on your machine. Only switch to an HWE ISO if you actually need the newer hardware support. You can download the Cinnamon, XFCE, and Mate editions of the new HWE ISOs from the official Linux Mint website on the dedicated HWE page. As always, verify the checksums after downloading. This approach shows a practical response from the Mint team. By releasing refreshed installation media whenever a newer kernel becomes available in the package base, they keep current hardware supported without rushing a full new release. It bridges the gap until Linux Mint 23 arrives later this year, which is expected to be based on the upcoming Ubuntu 26.04 LTS series. So if you're setting up a fresh system on recent hardware, or if the standard 22.3 media is giving you trouble, head over to the official site and grab the kernel 7.0 HWE images. That's the update for today. If you found this useful, feel free to like and subscribe for more straightforward Linux news and explanations. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.